People. Que pasa, sapa, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News. Now, people, it seems as if it is going to be normal occurrence for Jamaicans to wake up on a daily basis and hear the cries of family members, mothers. One specific and most significant is an incident in which a mother of 4 lost her life. And we heard the cries of her mother. However, people, fast forward in the wee hours Thursday morning, our next family was again in weeping and a wailing. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'll give my piece.
I'm going to identify my friend body. Oh God, no.
Now, people, if you look at your screen right here, these are the pictures of these youths. It is said that both of them are cousins. Don't know what are the details that led to it. Don't know if these youths are innocent. Don't know if they are involved. Don't know if they are victims of what we call relationship crimes, meaning that if them can't catch Quaker, them will catch somebody that is a relative to them. So therefore, them take out these 2 youths. 2 family members, one time. People, do we realize that this is a very disturbing trend in Jamaica? And if it continues like this, Jamaica is going to be numero uno as it pertains to the most MURDEROUS place on planet Earth. It is presently sitting at number 2, number 2nd. So people, what do we expect? Based on the rate that we're going to run past, fly past everybody else in the whole entire planet. Now, people, if that was not bad enough, the Pope were also probing the takeaway of 2 people. Again, it seems as if Chucky Leatherface, one of those MASSACARE that we see on TV. However, this is Jamaica style. There are 2 very serious pictures out there, meaning barbaric, meaning brutal. In one picture specifically, a man was in the sitting position at a riverbed, crouched over. However, his neck, his head was pretty much off. Take off like them use some sort of farm utensil, machete, rete, lele, blue, blah, blank, and take it off. People, Jamaica, once again, this is normal occurrence. These brutal and barbaric crimes have become the norm other than the exception. Point blank and period. Now, people, further on in the news, you know, say some of these popo, some of them soldier boy, them are some of the wickedest liars on planet Earth. There was an incident that took place on the 26th of February 2022. It involved a JDF sergeant. His name is Theophilus Tracy, 43-year-old, and a lady, 39-year-old Miss Williams. Apparently, Mr. Tracy and Miss Williams had some sort of back road deal, in my estimation. Based on the information, it is said that on that fateful night, Miss Williams was found slumping over, part of her body outside the car, and then part of the body inside of the car of the JDF, Jamaica Defence Force Sergeant Mr. Tracy. Mr. Tracy was nowhere on the scene. Mr. Tracy was gone, take for himself, boof, gone with the wind. However, a couple of days later, Mr. Tracy was taken in. He was questioned by the investigators. The lady was found suffering from all sorts of pie, all sorts of spent shell around the car. Seems as if she get a couple of rounds that is bad for her health. However, When the Popo requested the fire piece of Mr. Tracy, it was not forthcoming. So therefore, them charge him. Them charge him for withholding a weapon that was used in some sort of crime. However, people, here is where things get sticky. He was charged pending investigation for that lady losing her life. He was also charged for not turning over the toll. However, he turned in himself a couple of days later. However, it seems as if Mr. Tracy has retained the services of a liar, top liar, and this is a story that they are coming up with. Based on what Mr. Tracy is saying and told the court, this is documented in the court when he went to court the other day, MVRD3R Parish Court. He said that this lady and 4 other men tried to rob him. So therefore, it was self-defense. He was defending himself. He had no choice but for wheel and pop off and blaze up some can. However, only the woman was hit. Only the woman lost her life. The other people, the other 4 men, he claims that they disarmed him, took away his tool. So people, let me ask you a question, and this is just a common sense question. How is it that somebody try to rob you, you blaze up the woman who in the car, you run away from the scene of the crime, you take away yourself you was missing, the tool missing, and now you're going to say that you was disarmed by one of the 4 men. So how is it that these 4 men were trying to rob you, disarm you, take away your tool, you run left your car, run left the victim of the car, and now you are claiming that you're a victim of robbery? Here is where it gets even more fishier. Him claims, well, court record indicate that about a month later, somebody turned in the tool. The same tool that was used to take away this lady. The same tool in which he claimed he was disarmed of. People, here is the deal. If gunman rob you, more than likely, if you pipe up one of their accomplices, chances are you are going to also lose your life, unless, of course, you're faster than the real lightning bolt, meaning lightning itself. You can't run well left the tool or run well left the bullet, the can. So you're going to tell me that after them try to rob you, take away your tool, somebody, some innocent civilian turn over the tool a month later. So them find it in some sort of bush. Don't really know the story, but you know that it is going to be some sort of Brother Anansi, Brother Tukuman sort of story. Turn it over to the Popo a month later. Now people, like me say, the job, the responsibility of a lawyer is to defend his client, even if that client is a spawn of the devil, the son of Lucifer. Whoever he is, they are going to come up with some sorts of story. And people, I don't know if it is morally right or morally wrong, ethical for a lawyer to do this. However, it is obvious that that is a story that they are going to sell to the court. That is a story that they are going to go with. So people, it shows you the people who are supposed to be members of the armed force, be it JCF, Jamaica Constabulary Force, or JDF, they are just like the common man. As a matter of fact, it is even worse because they sworn to protect, they sworn to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. However, people, we say this is a big lie. How will it play out in courts? I guess only time will tell. However, the moral of the story is that he went to court, he was given $600,000 condition of bail, and he is to return to court in July 25th, I think. Don't quote me on the specific. So people, the moral of the story is that this seems like some sorts of back road deal gone wrong. Somebody lose them life, somebody get locked up. Some other people hide a whole bunch of truth. However, what we seems to be getting is a whole bunch of lies. A whole bunch of Brother Nancy, Brother Tukuman, Jamaican style, storytelling, point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, there's a saying that goes something like this. Birds of a feather flock together. One fowl makes many. I am speaking about an operation that was conducted by the Lottery Task Force in a place called Great Pond. Great Pond is in St. Ann. Based on all the lottery scamming that has been going on and the billions of dollars that are taken away from overseas people, mostly in the US, mostly elderly people, it seems as if the US authority and also local Jamaican authority, they have vowed to do some sorts of clampdown. One of those clampdown took them to St. Anne's, like I said. During that operation early in the morning, crack of dawning, about 5 or so, 5 a.m., them all on 7 people. Of those 7 people, one of them is said to be a 27-year-old businessman, and then 2 other youth, 22-year-old, and then a teenager that was 17. The rest of identity were not given. The ages were not given. However, 7 people total. We say the name businessman. Now people, when we hear about businessman, it means absolutely nothing in a Jamaica. It does not mean that they are conducting any sorts of legitimate business. It is like Scarface Tony. When them ask him what does he do, he is a construction worker. He is constructing the smuggling, the juggling of all sorts of cocoa. So pretty much that is exactly what a businessman means in a Jamaica. It does not have to be legitimate. It could be illicit business. However, what we also see is that one of the persons locked up in this is also a teenager, underage youth. However, people, like them say, as one gone, a next one rise. And teenagers, students, it seems as if they are very intrigued with any sorts of thing in which they can put in little or no physical work. However, they can be paid handsomely. However, people, like them say, the wages of sin is also DEATH. So therefore, there are the pros and the cons, meaning that you can lose your life as well as getting some money. That is a chance, that is a trade that people have to make decision. It is also said that they seize 2 computers, 10 phones, with all sorts of information from people residing overseas. The 7 people, they were charged with breaches of the Lottery Scam Act and also having identity information of persons other than themselves. What is very significant in this operation is that they also seize, I think, 2 or 3 BMWs and also a Mark X Toyota and also a Toyota Crown. Now people, what I've realized is that there's a signature cars or a couple of signature cars, mostly high-end European vehicles, BMWs and Benz, but most significantly, what I call the scammer starter kits. Well, not starter kits. The car that tells you that yes, you've arrived. Mark X. X mark the spot. X, you will be soon X'd out. Pretty much that is what it means. We see all these cars, most accidents in Jamaica. It is always some sort of scammer bleach out in some sort of tight pants, some sort of brief or boxers or show whenever they carry them flip over and we see them flat out on the asphalt. However, people, what we've also realized is that these youth don't understand. They are not really sensible. Them can fool some fool people overseas, some vulnerable and gullible people. However, the moves that they make is not very sustainable in the crime field, meaning that as soon as them get some money, them run go buy a Mark X. As soon as the popo see any sort of Mark X, any sort of bleach out face, braid up man, them are going to pull you over. You are targeted. And people don't like to stereotype anybody but people. Those are the facts. Here's the next facts about what not to do whenever you are a criminal. And I am not trying to teach these people. Them just young, them dumb, and them full of cum. The next thing that you should not probably do is the whole of the criminal them cluster up in a one little area. Pretty much this is a parade. This is a spotlight. This is a highlight. Everybody wants to show off what they've achieved. Everybody wants to live in the same era. Everybody is competing. So therefore it is a competition of buffoonery of dons criminals called scammer. So therefore them pretty much abate at themselves. Luckily for Jamaica, luckily for the armed forces, Lottery Task Force, they just stand out like a sore thumb. Pretty much a bunch of sore, dumb losers. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, at the end of the day, them arrest 7 people. At the end of the day, they seize a couple of high-end motor vehicles, BMW Mark X Crown. More than likely, none of these people can get back these cars. They will be forfeited based on the fact that you don't have any sorts of job, based on the fact that you were caught with paraphernalia as it pertains to lottery scamming. That is reason for seizure in any sorts of court, in any sorts of land, including Jamaica. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like I say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.